All right. Welcome, everybody. Good to see your faces. You guys too. I haven't seen you in a few minutes. First, I want to start by acknowledging Holly. Thank you, Holly, for teaching while I was having a blast in Bali. I am going to pick up where Holly left off. So we're going to continue with sutras. And Holly got a really good one. Last week was 133. And I'm going to read it again because the one for today, which is 134, is kind of carries forward from the previous one. So last week, the sutra, the translation from Swami Satchidananda is, by cultivating attitudes of friendliness toward the happy, compassion for the unhappy, delight in the virtuous, and disregard toward the wicked, the mind stuff retains its undisturbed calmness. So he's giving us one of the ways to keep ourselves calm. And it's about your attitude. So if you're friendly towards the happy, compassionate for the unhappy, delighting in the virtuous, and equanimous, I think is the word Holly used, towards the wicked, then you might be less disturbed. So our sutra today carries on with another technique. It says, or that calm is retained by the controlled exhalation or retention of the breath. So you can either change your attitude or you can use your breath. Or maybe both. So we're going to do a little bit of breath work today. Specifically here, he says controlled exhalation and retention, or retention. And Swami Satchidananda's discussion is a little, he basically says, well, he mentions exhalation, but it's really all pranayama. Or not all pranayama, but other kinds. It could be including the inhalation. So I want to talk about that a little bit. When we practice pranayama, which is controlled breathing, it has an effect on the nervous system. And this is starting to be scientifically proven. I found some articles that were kind of gathering some of that evidence, and I'll share that with you in the notes if this is on YouTube or by email for those of you that are here live. And specifically, when you look at the science of it, slower breaths have been shown statistically and anecdotally to calm the nervous system. There's teachings that specifically say that the exhalation especially helps with calming the nervous system. And if you think about how your body reacts to breath, you can kind of experience this. So if you're holding your breath, so everybody take a deep breath in, hold, and then exhale. So the holding can create a little bit of tension, and the exhalation, actually your body physically relaxes. There's like a relaxing of your shoulders and your chest. So there's a physical experience of the exhale in your body that promotes and sort of fosters the feeling of relaxation. So what he's saying in here, I think is actually pretty specific, that the exhalation can be one of the ways that we calm our mind. In my experience, long holding on either side, which is what he called retention of the breath, can also cause anxiety. So if I hold the exhalation longer than just a few seconds, I start to feel that same kind of breath hunger as I was trying to demonstrate when we held our breath on the inhale. So I'm going to have us do some practice today doing a technique that's called Samavriti. And Sama, translated from Sanskrit, means same. And it's a technique that's used a lot in Western sort of mindfulness training, and even with children. This technique, it's called box breathing, is something that is taught in elementary schools, and it's taught by therapists for people that suffer from anxiety. And it's very simple to remember, and it's got a kind of a visual aspect to it that is also helpful for some people that are more visual than otherwise. So the technique is actually a steady counted breath in, a steady counted breath to hold, a steady exhale, and then a steady hold at the end of the exhale. For me, I learned this using a 4 count. So I'm going to actually use my finger, and I'm going to give you a visual of what this looks like. So you'll go inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Any questions about just the general technique? The visual is lifting up on the inhale, straight across on the hold, lowering on the exhale around the box, and then holding and drawing the bottom of the box in your mind. Pretty clear? Okay, so for me, the 4 count works great. It doesn't feel like I have breath hunger, and I'm kind of used to it. But when I'm breathing normally, my breath is like a 2 or a 3 count. And your breath is different than mine. Your anatomy and your breakfast and the amount of coffee you've had is different than me. And so I'm going to invite you into a little bit of research as you do this practice today around finding something that's calming, because that's our goal, is to use this tool specifically to calm us today. Sometimes the breath is useful to wake us up. Sometimes it's useful to help us fall asleep. We want to be alert today, but calm. So, before we begin the formal practice, which we'll do for about 15 minutes, well, it'll probably be about 12 minutes, an opportunity to ask a question. If you guys are in the room that's not here and you have a question, you could unmute if you need to. Okay, pretty straightforward. I'm going to guide it at the beginning. I'm going to use a 4 count, and then I'm going to let you do your research. So let's begin. Take your posture for practice. So start at your foundation, whether you're sitting in a chair or on the floor, and sense into the foundation of your seat. Just make sure you feel supported. Do something on purpose with your hands. For me, this meditation is intended to be grounding, so I've got my palms face down. Now check in with your posture, your spine. Create your posture so you're upright, alert, and relaxed. Begin by just noticing your breath as it is. Observe the response to your breath in your body. So your belly or your chest might expand as you breathe in. And notice that softening of your body as you breathe out. Samavriti, same fluctuation of the breath. Breathing in for 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath for 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Keep going. You might keep the 4 count for a few breaths. Visualizing a line, drawing the box can be helpful. Maybe your count needs to be 3 or 5. Bring an awareness to how the breath is affecting your nervous system. So stay with a count for enough breaths to get a sense of how it's working for you. Tune your practice to find a place of ease. If the breath holding is not creating ease for you, go to a simple count on the breath in with a matching count on the breath out. If you feel like you're grasping really hard at the technique, just soften a little bit. An invitation for everybody to stop the holding, come into an even count on your breath in, and an even count on your breath out. Even meaning the same, not necessarily 2 or 4, just the same count on the breath in and the breath out. Notice any change, any difference. And now elongate your exhalation. So if your inhale is a 4 count, exhale to 5 or 6. From a place of curiosity, how is this affecting me? everybody. Take a bigger breath in and out. Do that one more time. Nice big breath in and out. And then open your eyes. I am curious, by raising your hand and unmuting yourself, let's just do a poll. We've got Zoom here. I'm going to unspotlight myself so we can see each other pretty well. Okay, by a poll of those of you that have your camera on, or you can turn on your camera. Who found the box breath the most calming? Raise your hand. No hands raised of the cameras that are on. Anybody in here? No. Okay. Who found the even inhale and exhale the most calming? Okay, I got 3 on the screen, 1 in the room. It's not quite half of you. Who found the longer exhalation the most calming? Got 3 on the screen, 2 in the room. That might be a little bit higher vote for the exhalation. I have a couple of thoughts on this. So I'll share those first. The exhalation is said to be calming. So I think the data, and Gretchen's now piping in saying the longer exhalation also says the same thing. Longer breaths, especially on the exhale. I think the reason box breath is taught so much is because it gives us a sense of control. It also gives our mind an extra thing to do, to really, really focus. And I think when we think about children or even ourselves as adults, when we're really agitated and we feel like we're not in control of what's happening around us, that practice of visualizing going up and across and down and across takes enough focus that it starts to bring us to the present moment a little bit better than a kind of a free form, just longer breath. So I think it has the first thing that it does is it gives us a sense of control of something that might not be in control. But then I think actually at the nervous system level, the longer exhale is actually creating more calmness. What do you guys think? Nodding. Anybody want to unmute and share? I'll ask the room here in a moment. Marcia, let me go with you first.
So I really feel like I'm in the minority, but I found the longer exhale actually started more of the
breath hunger,
the discomfort in so maybe I was holding it too long. But yeah, I just prefer the smoother. I mean, I did have a reaction where everything started to shake again. I had to actually go into a mantra and then calm down. So
really interesting.
Yeah, it was interesting. As I said, I'm sure it's a minority, but yeah.
But the thing that's good in you sharing that is that's why I had us try different things. There's not one pranayama practice that's right for everybody. There's not one way to do a yoga pose that's right for everybody. And so I want your practice, meditation or asana or just any of the practice that we do, to be from a place of your own inquiry into what works. Because your nervous system, Marcia, is like clinically different than ours. You have a condition and your experience is probably related a little bit to the condition that you have. And yeah, it's real. What about you, Holly? You raised your hand as well.
Yeah, I felt the box was a little constricting, and I felt that
controlled.
Yeah, and too controlled. It's like I was having a hard time relaxing during it because I was trying to do it right.
Yeah.
My typical reaction to things. So I found that making a grid in my mind of going up, going down, going up, going down helped me rather than the box. So,
Yeah, really
what do you
good. Yeah. Yeah. I actually, yes, Mary, let's hear from you.
Had an epiphany this morning because all these years that I've been doing yoga, I've been listening to you and talking about your 4 count and trying desperately to be a 4 count. I'm a 3. I'm just saying, I am a 3, and it's just life changing now. But I
Yes.
did do the 3 in and the 4 out, and that was my favorite breathing thing. So I will remember that.
Great.
This is what it's supposed to be. There's value when you first start doing something with working with what the teacher's asking you to like kind of get the experience of it. But as we advance in our practices, whatever they are, we really need to be in that kind of self-awareness of what's actually happening. And I think that's hard at the beginning because we don't trust ourselves and we kind of want to do it right. But as we get more experienced, we have to really get into that question. Like, if I'm going to be doing this for the next 20 years, like, am I doing it in a way that's causing the result that I want?
Yeah, I kept trying to make myself a 4 by counting faster. And it certainly made me nervous. But once I decided I was a 3 and I was cool with that, life is good.
I love it. I really love it. Anybody in here have something to share? Yeah.
During all 3 different ones. During the box it was 78, and even in and out was 62, and then the long exhale was 49.
Okay, so this is really interesting. This is Megan. I'm going to repeat what she said because she didn't have the mic. She has a heart rate monitor on, so she did a little science. I'm going to paraphrase what she said. When she was doing the box, her heart rate was what? 78. When she was doing the in and out, same, it was 62. And then when she did the longer exhale, what was it? 49. So it went from 78 to 49 for her. Difference between trying to control with the 4 and longer exhale. So maybe Patanjali is correct. The exhale is a good thing. Who knows? All right, well, we are out of time, so we'll have to continue this experiment called yoga next time. Namaste, y'all. Have a good day.